credited for the decision. As per the sources, viewers, during the attack in Baisaran Valley, terrorists were using ultra-state communication system. Through this system, terrorists communicated and sent messages without the SIM card. Two signals of the system have been traced by the security agencies who have been launching in-depth probe into the terrorist attack, while the NIA teams have been there and probing with the local agencies and local, in fact, workers there. NIA DG has also reached Jammu and Kashmir. Javed Hussain is joining me live on the broadcast. Javed, what are you picking up as far as now the NIA's probe widened and they have recovered that two signals of the system which was being used for communication by the terrorist has been traced? Javed, if you can hear me correctly. Well, all right. In fact, there is a disturbance on the line. Major General G.G. Dwivedi, defense expert, is joining me live on the broadcast. Appreciate your presence on the broadcast, sir. Now, as the NIA probe has widened, this has revealed the serious, in fact, breach that could possibly went undetected, as the terrorists were using a system without in fact any SIM. That was a system in place through which the communication was taking place. The NIA teams continue their effort in tracing the terrorists who have killed 26 of our people, and that is what in fact all eyes of every countryman are hooked at. How do you respond to in fact these activities that have been taken up, and also at the same time Pakistan objecting to the punitive measures that India has taken in line as a response to this terrorist attack of 22nd April?
Your question about the communication that were used by the terrorists at the ghastly attack at Pahalgam. Well, terrorists always have multiple means of communication, because without communication, they cannot take instruction from the handlers in Pakistan, and they also have to communicate with the sources or with the overground workers who are inside in our own country. So therefore, communication is a very vital component of the terrorists. Now here, as you rightly stated, the terrorists have used the ultra-state communication system. So what it implies is that you communicate from one radio station to other radio station, and this communication is based on the frequency. They can be the ultra high frequencies or very high frequencies. That until you can tap this communication, they go unnoticed. And as NIA has rightly picked up some signals, so that means that these terrorists were operating on the radio system frequency where you don't require to use any SIM card, but you are able to communicate within the radio station. And they have long range also and the short range as well. So the point I'm trying to make is that these communication can be only intercepted when you take certain countermeasures like ECCM, electric countermeasures. Otherwise, they can go unnoticed. And it's quite a positive development that the NIA has been able to actually pick up, as you said, two signals, and that will actually give away a lot. They will be able to break the whole chain as to how this communication was being carried out. Now, second point that you have raised is that why Pakistan is responding, how it is responding to our punitive measures. Well, the point is that I think Indian government has taken a very considered and very calibrated view that this time is not going to be just one strike or two strike or tit for tat. I think this has to be actually a very well drawn, long drawn strategy which will try to nail Pakistan, try to defeat and deter Pakistan proxy war. So in that, as we all know that certain diplomatic measures have been taken and which are showing impact, because there is such a high degree of concern in Pakistan on the suspension of Indus Water Treaty, on the visa cancellations, also scaling down of the embassies and missions. So all these are having impact. But Pakistan, as you know, will always try to first and foremost propaganda, disinformation campaign, and as it is, they are reaching out to their allies. Possibly they are the client state of China, and also getting support from Turkey. The point is that Pakistan always raises certain bogey propaganda, nuclear, you know, kind of a threat, and they always raise the kind of bogey. So Pakistan is doing all that, and that is well, I think, on the card. But real issue is Pakistan military, their deep state, their political system are all actually worried at this time as to what India is going to do. And India is going to do one very important thing, that is to shake up Pakistan army and to give them a very clear message that this type of proxy war cannot go on and they'll have to pay a price. I just read an article today for the first post and I have brought out two, three very important things, that this is the time to knock off Pakistan illusion that they can get away with it, and we have to use all elements of national power to ensure that Pakistan is brought to the knees. Similar.
Well, Mr. Dwivedi, thank you very much for being with us and now also sharing your take and opinions and perspective.